Good morning from the Drayton Manor Resort. You're watching Adventure Planet, where I've come back down here today for my very first rides and impressions on the reimagined Shockwave. Yeah, of course, the Wave opens today to the public officially, Friday the 26th of April at 12 p.m. So I thought I'd come down, take a little look, see if anything has changed in the couple of weeks that it's been since I was last here at Drayton Manor. Of course, 2 weeks ago, I was here filming a full park vlog, so check that vlog out if you've not already seen it. Today, though, like I say, it's all about the Wave. Let's see how it rides, see how it compares to the stand-up coaster of Shockwave. We'll talk a little bit about its history, and I'll let you know, of course, my reviews and impressions after I've had my first few rides. Let's head on over. We're here now at Adventure Cove. It's a very quiet day, actually. It's a Friday, so I'm not expecting it to get very busy today, but we'll see what happens when the Wave opens in about an hour, 15 minutes time. Let's go take a look. And here we are then, with just an hour to go until opening. Here we are at the Wave with just a couple of people around. I suspect most people are still over at Vikings or Thomasland. Early on a Friday, the only entrance open this morning was Vikings. So a lot of people getting their rides in on Thor and Loki, but I've come straight down here to the Wave. Yeah, a little bit about this ride's history then. Of course, it opened back in 1994, and of course back then there was nothing really in this area. You had the rapids, which was actually known as Splash Canyon. That opened the year previously in 1993, but otherwise there was nothing here at all. Shockwave was the first major addition really to this park. Like I say, opened in 1994 and was actually known as the 7-Up Shockwave, as it of course had that sponsorship with the 7-Up soft drink. Running 2 trains, blue and red, 6 cars per train, with a row of 4 making for 24 riders per train. And it done amazingly well for the park. Of course, it opened as the first stand-up coaster in the UK, and actually when it closed, it was only one of 2 stand-up coasters in the whole of Europe. It had 4 inversions, including this 0G roll that you can see here. And there's never been, not before or since, a stand-up coaster with a 0G roll in the world. It was one of the unique parts of this ride that, of course, sadly, we have now lost. But it done amazingly well for the park right the way up until November last year, where Shockwave The Last Stand took place. When obviously, you know, with the new direction of Drayton Manor going towards a more family-oriented park, and Shockwave, you know, let's be fair, for the past couple of years, it had been riding really, really rough. So a decision was made that as part of its kind of refurb, they were going to bring that height requirement down from 1.4 meters down to 1.2 to kind of fit in more with that family-friendly park. And so the decision was made to change this from a stand-up to a sit-down coaster. However, although we have lost that uniqueness, it is fair to say that in the whole of the UK, this will absolutely be the most thrilling family coaster that you will find. Like I say, 4 inversions, you've got that vertical loop there, into the 0G roll, and then a double corkscrew to finish. So it's definitely going to be a thrilling family ride. And I'm really looking to getting my first rides on it today. I imagine that testing will start very, very shortly. I gotta say though, I said this a couple of weeks ago, I am a little bit disappointed that they've not cleaned the track. You know, it would have been nice to have seen, I mean, they've had ample time to do this. November it closed. I would have liked to have seen a full repaint, to be perfectly honest, or at least a repaint of these supports. 2 weeks ago, you know, it became clear it wasn't going to get a repaint. You know, they were obviously very quickly running out of time. However, I thought in those 2 weeks, they would have at least got the pressure wash on this. The track is looking very bad in places. And yeah, it is a shame that that's not been done. Hopefully that does get done at some point in the near future. Yeah, it just seems a little bit of a shame that they've not kind of put that effort in for kind of the reimagining and reopening of this ride, really. Yeah, a little bit of a shame. I thought maybe there might have been some other bits of theming going in as well, because they seem to have cut down some of these hedges here and some of the larger trees that were in place. A little bit around here as well, but nothing extra has gone in. We've just got the billboard at the end here. But yeah, I mean, look at this track around here. It's really not looking the best. A nice repaint of the supports at least, and a fresh wash of this track is very much needed. Still, very much looking forward to my first rides on here. Let's go take a look at the entrance. And just past the entrance then, of course, I just want to point out this absolutely awesome near-miss element that's got into place here, this billboard. I really do like it. Brave the Wave on there, Saltwater Soul Travel Co. Yeah, it looks really, really nice. And as a matter of fact, as much as I just said about the supports really needing a repaint, I'm going to eat my words now, as I apparently missed this just over the back here. Yeah, as you can see, they've actually started repainting some of these supports already. It actually matches the color of Stormforce 10, so that's really good. That's going to match up with that ride that is pretty much directly opposite that straight section of track here, so that's really, really good to see. Not sure whether they're going to do, obviously, the track as well, but obviously these entire supports will get done in this blue color. Yeah, much, much darker than the original. Looks really nice. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do the track as well. I hope so, but at least when the supports are all done, the ride will look a lot better, because as you can see, yeah, some of the state of some of these supports really isn't good. All the paint flaking off here, so it's good to see that this work has actually been started. And here we are back at the entrance portal to the ride then, and yeah, like I said a couple of weeks ago, this all looks really good, actually, really nice and vibrant with those yellows and reds. And of course the sign, which again reminds me of Cadbury's Flake, but there we are, the wave. Yeah, it's a shame this hasn't been touched up though. I noticed this a couple of weeks ago. It's just a couple of kind of scratches and marks going through the font there. Would have nice to have seen that just painted up a little bit. But of course around here it looks as though not much has changed actually. You still got the photo opportunity here, the Wave, the UK's most thrilling family coaster. Oh, and here it comes. Hey! On its first test of the day. We got the entrance here with, of course, that height guide just to the right. Guests under 1.32 meters must be accompanied by a responsible person aged 16 plus. The minimum height to ride is 1.2 meters, which is good to see. Yeah, the ride's not actually open yet, but I thought I'd just go down and check out the queue line, just see if we can see any extra bits of signage like we've got just down here. Yeah, like I say, of course, all of this was kind of rethemed for Adventure Cove back in 2021. But here we are with the signage, front row queuing available. Please look for directional signs on ride platform. This actually closes 15 minutes before the ride closing time. All loose articles into the storage provided. And then, of course, we've got some ride restrictions and safety instructions there. Feel free to pause the video to take a look at some of those. And again, just a reminder of that height guide just to the left here as well, 1.32 and 1.2 meters. And another sign here just for accessibility if you want to take a look at that. And yeah, liking this, like the music playing in the area, and obviously this here, all the theming. Ride the crest, the wave experience at Adventure Cove, Drayton Manor. Surf's calling, answer with the wave. Yeah, it's really nice. I quite like all this. Looks pretty good. And let's head into the queue line then, as word is the ride is now open. Here we are, got some more bits of theming in the queue line here. Hang 10 with the wave. Ride the wave. Chase the fun. Drift into adventure. Yeah, like all this.
Learn to ride the waves.
Surf's calling, answer the wave at Drayton Manor. Nice little photo up here with the surfboard. Surf life. Ride the crest. And of course, no cameras or mobile devices on the wave. Yeah, nice to see the bits of advertising and theming going up in the queue line. It's really good to see. Not much else, I don't believe, has changed with the queue line, apart from these bits of theming, as we head up to the station. Yeah, they're all on the walls here as well. I like this one, Drift into Adventure, that's pretty cool. The wave awaits in Drayton Manor's Adventure Cove. And it's nice to have that surf-style music playing as well in the queue line. Ride the wave, dive into the wave, spirits high, surfs up. Yeah, loving all this. Like the music as well, this is nice. Brave the wave. A little bit of the track here, palm trees, some more of the track. Yeah, it looks really nice. Of course, more signage on the walls here as well. You do get some good views of the coaster out these windows as well. They're a little bit kind of chalked up now. However, yeah, some good views of it coming down into that straight section. And then, of course, up into the first corkscrew there. Some more signage. And here we are, pretty much a walk-on. Everyone's waiting for this to open at 12 o'clock, but it's actually open now. Let's get my first ride on the wave. And here we are in the station then with a few changes here. We've got the surfboards on the back, some more of that theming on the walls here. And of course behind me as well is the same. Got the surfboards up here, all looks really nice. And this all looks really good here as well. Saltwater Soul Travel Co there as well. Yeah, this all looks really nice. And just down here we've got some stats as well with the 4 inversions. 120 feet tall, 53 miles per hour, 1,640 feet of track. Yeah, nice to see all that. And again, like I say, you've got the music blaring in here as well, which is really, really cool. And there's a look at the trains just over the back there, manufactured by Art Engineering, these ones. And as I said earlier, same configuration for the trains. 6 cars per train, row of 4. Making for 24 riders per train, and of course those lab bars. Looking forward to this. Any row queue to the left, and of course the front row queue just off to the right there. We'll try both, and we'll try and get a back row as well. Let's head on. And I have just had my very first ride then on the wave here at the Drayton Manor Resort. And I gotta say, hey, there it goes by me. I gotta say, first impressions, actually pretty good. The trains are nice and comfortable. I will say though that they are struggling with operations in there at the moment. There's about 10 minutes, 15 in some cases, between dispatches at the moment. I think they're struggling with getting kind of the restraints locked in. Yeah, taking a little bit of time, teething problems, it being the new train. I'm sure that'll sort itself out in the days to come. However, yeah, first impressions, pretty good. Looking forward to getting several more rides on there yet before I give you my full impressions and full review. So let's head back on. That was a front row ride. Let's see if we can get a back row. And I've just had a further 3 rides then on the Wave here at the Drayton Manor Resort. And yeah, just thought I'd take you through my experience and what I really think of the ride overall. Starting with the queue line, yeah, not too much has changed really. I mean, obviously this area was kind of fully refurbed back in 2021 when Adventure Cove became a thing. So yeah, there's not really been any kind of repaint or anything like that. But there is nice to see some of the signage in the queue line, all kind of referring to the Wave, and obviously surf shacks and all that kind of thing, which is good. And the music is really good. There's a nice kind of earwormy soundtrack throughout the queue line, which is good to see. Obviously into the station itself, again, some changes to the theming with obviously the surfboards, some new signage around, but otherwise mostly the same as it was with Shockwave. The trains themselves, just running 1 train at the moment. They only actually have 1 train on site. There are options for them to get in a 2nd train. Whether they will do that, I'm not sure. But as of filming, it's just the 1 train on the circuit at the moment. Same config as before. Like I say, 6 cars per train, rows of 4. Unfortunately, the back row is out of action at the moment. Yeah, they are still having teething issues with those restraints. They're basically telling you that once you've sat down, don't touch the restraints. We'll do it for you. It has seen a little bit of downtime today due to those restraints not malfunctioning, but just not locking down properly and not allowing the car to be dispatched from the station itself. Manufactured by Art Engineering, the trains, they're very comfortable, nice and hugging, and the lap bar is great. For those that rode Shockwave in the last few years of its life, you will notice a massive difference in comfort for sure. It would be nice if they do get that 2nd train onto the circuit at some point. However, we'll see in the future on that one. In terms of the ride itself, look, it depends on what side of the fence you kind of sit on. If you're an adult and an enthusiast like myself, yes, you're going to find it disappointing. It's lost its uniqueness, and I will always miss Shockwave. You know, would I have rather them completely retracted and got in some brand new stand-up trains from someone like B&M? Yes, of course I would. That would have been absolutely fantastic. However, the decision, obviously, with keeping in kind of the family direction of the park, the decision was made to go from that 1.4 height requirement down to 1.2. That meant changing it into a sit-down coaster. Now, if you're totally unfamiliar with Shockwave, or you sit around that 1.2, 1.3 height requirement, so you've never ridden something quite as thrilling as this before, I gotta say, you're gonna love it. It's a very comfortable ride, 4 inversions there, that vertical loop into that 0G roll, which still has some pretty nice forces, and then into that double corkscrew to finish. Nice bits of theming to see around the track as well, and it is very, very smooth until you hit those really sharp brakes that are still there in the station. So yeah, it really does kind of depend on what kind of experience you have with thrill coasters. I think, like I say, in keeping with the new direction of this park, I think this is fantastic and absolutely is going to be the UK's most thrilling coaster for probably quite some time. So yeah, as an enthusiast, a little bit disappointed. As someone who sits around that 1.2, 1.3 meter height requirement though, it's a good ride. And of course, right below the Wave then, we've got the River Rapids as well, in action today. No water effects on the back here today though. Although the sun is out today, it is still feeling quite cold. So I'm sure riders on the River Rapids will be thankful for that as the Wave takes up the lift hill again, 120 feet and 53 miles per hour. Believe it or not, that's actually faster than Nemesis at Alton Towers. It's so great though to ride this and actually be comfortable. Those really weird restraints of Shockwave were not the best. There she goes into that 0G roll. There we are, opening day of the Wave here at the Drayton Manor Resort, and of course right opposite that we have Storm Force 10. Now this was open earlier today, but it looks as though it's gone down. Water's stopped recycling there, but just to show you, this is obviously the colour of the supports that the Wave is being painted in. So that'll give you some idea of how the ride will look. Now, I'm not quite sure Whether they will do the track as well, like I said earlier, it would look good, I think, if the track was done as well. However, after this track has been pressure washed, maybe the two-tone blue would actually look better. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see what they decide to do with that in the future. Obviously, we're talking kind of the following weeks and months for all that to get done. Looking forward to seeing it. I'm sure it'll look really sharp. And yeah, this is kind of what I pointed out 2 weeks ago in the full park vlog here. It's very obvious that this has all kind of been cut back here. You see, like, the hedges exist here and just down here, but this kind of section has all been cut away. Kind of led me to believe that maybe we would be seeing another piece of theming going in here on this straight section of track. I'm not really sure. Maybe they're waiting for the repaint to be done before they add that in. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just some kind of maintenance that's going on for something else. But it would be nice to see another little bit of theming going into place here. And I just thought I'd show you the exit line then, as I've just had my 4th ride on the wave. Saltwater Soul Travel Co. again there. And we've got some more signage on either side of the walls here on the exit stairs. It is such a comfortable ride now, though. That is definitely the biggest thing I'm taking away from this. Again, as much as I miss the stand-up element, it is really nice for it to be so comfortable now. Ride the crest. There we are. And this brings you out to the exit. Worth noting that this, of course, if you need easy access, or if you have a fast pass, this is actually where you'll enter to get on to the ride. Here you got your photo booth here as well, £12 for a photo, or if you're a season pass holder, it's just £5. And you'll buy them just off here to the right. And while I'm here, I thought I'd come down and grab myself a ride on Jormungandr and also check out the construction side of the new Intamin family launch coaster. And yeah, to be honest, like I say, it's only been 2 weeks since I was last here, so not really much has changed since then. However, they have finished the painting on the front of the station, which I will show you shortly. A lot of work going on the interior of that today by the sounds of it. Lots of drilling and welding and hammering going on in there. You've got this green crane type thing going inside as well. So yeah, lots of work going on in there today. Also, this tree has finally been cut back. This, obviously, the branches here were all kind of coming over the track here. That's all now been nicely kind of cut away from the ride, which is good to see. But other than that, not too much has changed. We've got some theming going on in the building at the back here with the roof paneling going into place. That's really nice. But apart from that, not too much more to see from this angle, at least anyway. I will show you the completed painting on the station at the front, right after I've had my ride on Jormungandr. And here's just another quick look at the front of the station building then. As you can see, all the painting has been completed from when I was here 2 weeks ago. I say the front of the building. This is actually the end of the ride, so you'll finish off by coming around here and entering the station here. The ride actually dispatches out that way. So yeah, this is technically the back of the station. Still no further progress on this theming element that's going in here yet. And of course, there'll be lots more theming elements to go around here as well. But it's good to see that all the painting's all finished off. Looks really nice and sharp. Can't really see too much more actually inside of the station itself. You can just make out the air gates here are all in place just on this right side. But yeah, it's going to be hard to get any kind of internal shots from here. Can't really see any theming that's going into place at the moment, but nice to see that all the painting is finally finished off. And with that little update then, over at the construction site for the new Intamin family launch coaster, that is going to bring this vlog here to a close. And what can I say? It's been a great day. It's all been about the wave today, obviously. And like I said in my review, I think it's a great addition. I really, really do. Yes, if you're an enthusiast or a hardcore thrill seeker of any kind, you are going to miss that stand-up element and kind of the uniqueness that brought to not just Drayton Manor, but to the UK as a whole. It is sad to see that that go. However, in its place is quite rightly marketed as the UK's most thrilling family coaster. It's comfortable, you've got those 4 inversions in there, and if you are around that 1.2, 1.3 height requirement, I think you're going to absolutely love it. It's going to be accessible to so many more people, and obviously, you know, it's probably going to be the introduction to most people, actually, of their first proper thrill coaster, really. It's kind of build them up for those more hardcore thrills a little bit later on around the 1.4 meter height requirement. But this is an absolutely great introduction. I've seen a lot of kids today really enjoying it. So personally, I think it's a great addition, and it is nice to just get on that ride and actually be comfortable for a change, you know, as well. Yes, I'd like to see the theming, you know, go into place. It's a shame it wasn't done for opening day, but it's good to see that that work has started. The repainting of the supports. Hopefully a few bits of extra theming will go into place as well. And we'll see, obviously, if they do a complete repaint of both the track and the supports, or whether it'll just be those supports and then a kind of pressure wash of the track itself. That'll be interesting to see. And I think it's, like I say, Drayton Manor's had some brilliant additions over the past few years. You've got to think that, you know, a couple of years ago during the pandemic, Drayton Manor was in a lot of trouble. It was difficult for all theme parks across the country, but Drayton Manor itself actually went into administration and was saved by the Looping Group in 2020. And you've got to appreciate what they've accomplished in that time. Obviously, 2021 saw Adventure Cove come along, the whole brand new retheme of that area with the wave swinger going into place. 2022 saw a completely brand new area, Vikings, coming in with the new rides Loki and Thor and Sleipnir, and obviously the retheme of Jormungandr as well. 2023 obviously saw the construction starting of that new family thrill launch coaster, and 2024 arguably will be Drayton Manor's biggest year yet, with obviously the Wave opening up, that Intamin family launch coaster opening in just a few months, I suspect around July time, and obviously their brand new area as well, Frontier Falls, which is absolutely fantastic. And Victoria Lynn, the general manager of the park, has said that this is just the start. There's so much more to come here at the Drayton Manor Resort, and I personally cannot wait to see it. Really exciting times ahead. So yeah, that's been it here from Drayton Manor. But in terms of the next vlog coming up right here on the channel, I'm going to be back at Cadbury World. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been back there. So yeah, we'll be doing kind of a full tour around, and I'll be getting my first rides on their new dark ride, Cadbury Quest. A little bit late to the party on that one, but can't wait to ride it nonetheless. That's going to be coming up in the next vlog right here on Adventure Planet. But from here at the Drayton Manor Resort, I want to thank you so much for watching, and as always, happy riding, everybody. And I'll see you at Cadbury World.